How are you living, Sophie?
Is that how you start the podcast?
Yes.
Well, I'm broken up with. Please don't make me elaborate. I'm actually, as Charles Darwin once said, it was the best of times and the worst of times.
Different Charles, but anyway.
I know it was a joke. I know books.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was Charles Dick in Son. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Oliver Twist that you just did there.
Oh. Listen, I don't have great expectations for this podcast.
This is a good way to start.
Yeah, it is. We're hilarious. You know what we should do? We should have podcasts.
But yeah, how are you doing? You've just gotten back from overseas. I can't remember where you were, but you've been traveling a little bit, right?
I have. I've been on tour. Yeah. I was cast in a very cool play called Faust X.
Oh, cool.
Which was a modern adaptation of Faust, where Faust was played. Faust's the guy, just to the listeners who don't read books. He sells his soul to the devil and he gets everything he wants. And in our adaptation,
a Faustian bargain, as I would say.
Yeah, as a Faustian man. But the mask for Faust was like played by Elon Musk. So very wonderful satire. And we performed in Germany. And you know, Elon Musk did the whole...
Yeah, the right-wing stuff there, and like, or those Nazi salutes, yes. But also he's propped up like the right-wing part.
Yes. So we had a moment in the play where he's like carrying a chain, doing the chainsaw dance, and then the chainsaw dance ends with the Nazi salute in Germany. It was quite...
How'd that go down? Because isn't that like verboten?
Yeah, it is verboten. And I think it was a powerful artistic statement.
Yeah.
I think the Germans were like, oof. Oh.
Who produced that? Who directed it? Was it Germans? Because like if it's all people from overseas, then I can see it being quite controversial.
Yes, I think the Germans are too timid to do something like that. It was a play by Brett Bailey.
I'm not as familiar with all the theatre people as you are. I know Bill Bailey. That's about as far as that goes.
Bill Bailey?
He's a stand-up comedian who does music and stuff. You would actually love him. He's phenomenal. Like, he's as good a musician as he is a comedian, and that's what makes it like...
They give me an inferiority complex.
Yeah, he plays like 10 instruments and like can just make joke, like kind of the way Fred Armisen does, like with, you know, his drumming and that, and like he's got such a deep knowledge of music that he can make fun of it, and also yeah. But anyway,
it's beautiful.
Your Bailey.
Amazing. My Bailey. So yeah, I was in that play playing the devil at points.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So not like a big departure for you.
No.
But what I do want to know is actually, what's it like performing with other people now? Because you typically, I mean, I know you've obviously studied and, you know, you did it a lot when you were younger, but your releases lately have all been...
Solo shows by Sophie Joans. It was amazing. I was in a cast of fantastic, like, if you ask me who the top 5 best physical theatre performers in the country were, I would list the other 5 castmates who I'm performing with. So I've been learning a hell of a lot, and it's fun, you know, being on the road.
Yeah, it's living the dream.
Yeah, seeing new countries. Germans are weird.
So I've known Germans throughout my life. Yeah, they
Have you ever dated a German?
No, but I was friends with a German who so I was dating a girl, and he was dating that girl's best friend, and then we all broke up eventually, and now him and the girl I was dating are now married. So,
oh, is that like a Durban thing?
I mean, they didn't do it in Durban. So they were traveling the world as friends, and then, you know, a romance sparked up, and now they have 3 kids.
Oh, 3 kids. Did you feel weird about it?
Yes.
Oh.
At the time. I mean,
who did you cuck out more?
Oh, I didn't cuck out anyone. Like, you know, I just kept that to myself.
Cool.
Like, I'm not going to get involved in that. I'm like, I'm happy for you guys, but this is kind of weird. But
did you get invited to the wedding?
I did.
Did you go?
I did.
Did you bring a date?
I did.
Did you grind on the dance floor and overstage their dance?
I didn't overstage their dance, but yes, to grinding on the dance floor. I mean, we're all friends and stuff, and like, it's chilled now, but like, obviously, at first it was like, huh? And then now it's like, hey, love wins, man.
You should bully their children.
I don't think they'll let me anywhere near their children. But yeah,
Sorry,
so
my
Germans are
streak
weird.
is coming out. I love kids. I
know
I'm a great teacher. Yeah. I've been told.
Well, we'll get into that a bit just now. But so yeah, your experience in Germany, like culturally, like quite a few differences.
So different. You have to ask me specific questions. Do you want a happy story or a creepy story?
Oh, creepy for sure.
Oh, okay, creepy. It was interesting because I think despite South Africa's crazy GBV statistics, I felt more scared of German men than any other than I usually feel walking down the street in South Africa.
That's
like there was this one I know because, and I don't know if it's that the statistics in Germany or like I don't know, catcalling culture is worse, or if it's just that when you catcall in German it's way more intimidating. like one guy said something to me and I ignored him, and then he started yelling at me and he followed me for 2 blocks just yelling at me in German. I was like, damn.
That's fucking crazy.
Thanks, but
but that's scary. Yeah, that is scary because especially when you're in a foreign country, you don't really know like the cultural norms and everything like that. And then it's like,
yeah,
because I've heard like in Europe, it's men can be just as creepy as they are anywhere else.
Yeah, creepy men knows no bounds.
Yeah,
knows no culture.
No borders.
No borders. Creepy men without borders.
Also known as touring stand-up comedians.
But actually, I want to tell you the happy story too, because I believe it's good content.
Cool.
I often have this phrase because I've got a very inactive TikTok, which I'm kind of proud of, but also I don't think it's the way to success in the entertainment industry. And it hit me one day that I just have nothing new to contribute to the internet. Like I have nothing to contribute to the internet.
I feel.
There's just this. I mean, well, I'll tell a nice story. I think that's a worthy contribution. It was summer, so there are lots of outdoor activities and they're like free public shit in parks. And one of them was this old blues band of like old German bullies playing at like 9 p.m. Like, got all the old rock band gimmicks, long white hair and a pony.
And you got the beards.
And the beards and the sunglasses doing like Bob Dylan rock and roll covers.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
And everyone's sitting around on like chairs outdoors and drinking beer. And right at the front, the only person really kind of dancing is this tiny 90-year-old German woman. And she's, the back is stiff. She's kind of doing a little bobbing up and down and like moving.
Mandela dance.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think of the right person. Little Mandela dance. And I started dancing with her, and one of my castmates also started dancing with her, and then more people started dancing. At the end of the first song, she turned to us and she said, "Wunderbar, wunderbar." And you think that's the end of the really cute story, like little old 90-year-old lady just dancing. And I thought like the kids had decided to take Granny out for a summer night's outing, and they're probably there with the grandkids, but Granny was like, fuck this, I'm going for the jewel. I'm getting down. And I was like, that's nice. They take their elderly out. And then the concert ended after she danced for like an hour. And I saw her
made out with the guitar.
I saw her pick up her bag. She crossed the road and stood next to the bus stop alone. And isn't that just the fucking beautifulest thing? Like you're sitting in the old age home, you hear they're playing blues and you're like, screw it. I got a booty to shake.
I mean, I'll hope that's me in the future. I'm already like, shit, I don't know if I can go to that gig. I'm a bit too old, So it's like, you never want to be the old guy like at the back of like, a gig where everyone's like 19 and 20. It's just like, it's a little
creepy men without borders.
Exactly.
That's a callback. I fear that it may be the running callback for the rest of this podcast.
Maybe the next few years for just considering the stories that always come out about men. This is just going to be a tag. That's going to be on your next
Hashtag
show.
creepy men without borders. I feel like I've got more important stories to tell.
Also, there's enough stand-up specials that are about that, both by men and women. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. What stand-up specials by men are about creepy men without borders?
Anything by Louis C.K.?
No, that is just creepy man without borders.
But yeah,
I have a moral dilemma.
Okay.
What happens if there's a Louis C.K. joke I love?
Then what's wrong with that?
Just really like this one joke.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the joke?
I mean, sure.
Women. No, I'm joking.
My daughter.
Too creepy.
I mean, that was.
It must suck to be Louis C.K.'s daughter. Like it must be really tough.
I mean, even before the allegations, but sure.
Yeah. Ooh, attachment issues there. He says, "I'm not endorsing him."
Sure. Don't worry. I think everyone understands.
Don't soundbite this alone. He says, parents, they're the fucking worst. They just fuck you up and then they die. And it's never the one you want. I just felt really seen by that.
Yeah, that is funny. That's classic comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, weirdly enough, I'm trying to work on some stuff at the moment where I talk about like being in my 20s and that, and like how I was
You're
like
in your 20s?
when I was in my 20s. I know. Look, I know. I've got a painting in my attic, that takes the aging for me. So anyway,
that was a Dorian Gray reference.
Yeah,
books,
baby. Never gonna work on stage. But basically, like I didn't think I was a bad guy, but there are a few Charles Manson quotes that I related to.
That is way more horrifying. I have another.
I mean, the dude had some things to say. He also, inspired some negative things, but I just say that he had a family. that I could update it now.
The fine line. That's what they don't say about the fine line. The fine line, they make it sound like the line is thin and you could fall off on either way, but the line is actually a slide downwards.
And you're going downwards.
Yeah, you're going downwards.
All the way to hell.
Yeah. Where I'm there, the devil.
You're in Faust.
Yeah.
Anyway. I feel like we're just going to do references the whole time and not actually ever get into the interview.
Oh yeah, this is an interview. I wanted to ask you if you think you're going to heaven or hell, but we can do interview questions. But I just think I want to know.
I'm going into the ground.
Okay.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah. No. Who the fuck believes in heaven and hell these days? But if you did,
if I did,
where do you think you're going?
Probably heaven. Okay. It depends though. What are your criteria for getting into heaven? Because for some Christians, it's just having faith in Jesus. It's not about doing good deeds. It's not about whatever. So, I don't know. For those people, it's they could be Charles Manson and on their deathbed be like, yeah, I accept Christ into my life, and then shortcut into heaven. So,
that's true.
I'm more based on hey, man, I would say on average, my life has probably had a more positive than negative impact on the world.
That's a really nice thing to be able to
say
about yourself.
Some people listening will be like, what? You really think that? Bob, I know you. But yeah, I like to think that I have a fairly decent moral center. But it's also, I've definitely shoplifted a lot. So
I was about to say, have you lied? Have you stolen? Have you cheated?
Not on people, but yeah, I've cheated a lot in games and stuff and sports.
Not in the same moment.
Yeah, not all at the same
time. Yeah.
But for me, it's more about how you treat other people. That's kind of should be the bar. And you, heaven or hell?
I'd like to say, sex, drugs, and rock and roll would put me in the fiery flames.
I just don't think those are things that God
send you to hell. Yeah. I also do like to think. Yeah, I try to. There's a song that my mom always used to sing, which is ironic because she's a bitch. But
that's the parent you wanted to die. Okay, gotcha.
Which was that to fill the world with love my whole life through. You know that one? Fill the world with love. Yeah, try. I've never seen someone try and hold in a mouthful of vape for so long and then spit on the mic. Nice, Bob.
Yeah, did a spit take.
Yeah.
Smoke take, a spot take.
Well, on that lovely note, we can
we can go back
interview. Yeah, let's. Enough philosophy and books.
Well, yeah, you were talking about the content thing, right? Which is not a thing you do a ton of, but yet you still manage to actually fill rooms. How the fuck do you do that?
I have a show coming out on the 24th of September. And if you want to prove Bob right, buy some tickets so I can fill the room.
Are they a bit slow at the moment?
I always find this funny because sometimes I hear like comedians like really asking people or artists like being like, guys, please buy tickets, please buy tickets. And I find it so sad and it's really off-putting for me. And then you've sold 5. The trick to selling out shows, I think, is to have a really good show.
Yeah.
Like a really
So
fucking good show. Like, and I've had Ill was a good show, and that was my one-hit wonder.
It's your only thing before Netflix, so...
No,
your only solo show, right? Or no?
Nope.
Oh,
2 others.
Oh.
But to be weird, that was like really experimental clown, and I had tons of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't.
And I did actually sell quite a lot, but it was so weird.
Hey, I'm bummed I didn't see that one, to be honest.
Yeah, and I will never do it again. Yeah, we did. We did. I go, got my tits out there too.
Or you're going to need to give context now because people are going to think something happened between us. Because what do you mean 2?
No. Okay, here's the thing. Bob, do you want to tell the story? I would love to hear it from someone else's perspective.
Well, at the Armchair, like about 2 or 3 months ago, I can't remember how long ago it was, you were performing a character on stage where you brought someone up to dance and sing and play with you and slowly but surely undress you, I think. Like you had, I can't remember the whole thing, but like he was like taking off your socks and stuff like that. And then because he was so enthusiastic, you got a little bit caught up in the moment and eventually went the whole hog.
Just not the whole hog, the top hog.
Yeah, but if you were a guy at the bottom, it would be the whole hog. But yeah.
Yeah, if you buy tickets to my show on Netflix on the 24th of September,
something to look
no, you won't see. Maybe might see the whole hog, maybe.
But yeah, what was
Not
that
the
like?
whole hog.
Like I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I also thought it was fucking hilarious.
And I think lots of us in the crowd did, especially the comedians did. Because it was like a, will she or won't she, like situation, you know? And like I think you felt in the moment that
I was him, even me, I didn't know. I think it's probably worth, even from a interesting comedic analysis perspective, my whole idea for the sketch was to introduce myself like, I thought this was open mic.
Yes, that was it, yes.
I came with a song I didn't know was comedy. I'm really nervous about singing my song. Can somebody come and hold my hand? I'm so nervous. And then this guy came up who turned out to be Mauritian, which I thought based on my history and like being Mauritian and the whole joke about fucking cousins and Mauritians fucking their cousins, I was like, the guy who undresses me on stage ends up being Mauritian type. But it wasn't supposed to be like that at all. I was supposed to get a little raunchy, maybe take off my scarf, but the whole joke was going to be the man standing really, really awkwardly and me doing this super over the top, a little bit sexualized. But I was going to go down to the t-shirt at most. That was the plan.
Especially because it's the Armchair. There's like 20 people there. It's not like if there's but that's both positive and
it's the saddest place to get your tits out.
That's kind of it, right? Like on an open mic on a Wednesday. Like this isn't the artscape, It's like
no one even paid for tickets. They paid like 20 rand.
Well, you didn't get paid for it.
No, I didn't actually. And if I did, what would that be?
Sex work, I guess. But is it sex work if you're getting your tits out for comedy?
Yeah. Is it sex work if you get a laugh? Or do you have to get a moan?
Well, that's the thing. There wasn't anything sexual about it. Like, it wasn't like... It wasn't. It was comedically sexual. It wasn't like actually... Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Sabrina Carpenter versus like Ariana Grande like 10 years ago, It's like Sabrina Carpenter, like a thing I heard someone say once, read someone say once, is like she's got Bugs Bunny sexuality. And like that's always stuck with me.
Yeah, I'd love to have Bugs Bunny sexuality. I do love that I'm being compared to Sabrina Carpenter and Ariana Grande. I'll take that. Put that in the description. But then the volunteer I picked, he looked like he might be an awkward guy, and he was not. The man was so bold.
He was.
I took my scarf off. He took his flip-flops off. then as a joke, I thought it'd be funny if he took one of my shoes off. Then he pulled and this was where I knew, because my whole thing was I had to heighten, but he kept matching me. And then I knew when he took my socks off and threw them in my face. Did you see that?
Yes, I remember that.
That was
like actually weirdly enough, like one of the moments I remember the most was like that, like him taking his socks off, and I'm just like, this is fucking absurd. Like,
but then he threw them in my face. That was so hot. I was like, oh, daddy. Wow, okay. Yeah, now we're talking business. Anyway, nice chap. Great cousin. We had a good chat. Not related.
But yeah, what was going through your mind at that point?
And then he threw them in my face, and I was like, oh, fuck. He's higher than me, and I'm the comedian. I have to end on the high. And it became apparent to me that
there was only one
the
place
climax,
to go.
yeah, I had to get the tits out. And I did.
But you had done it before, like at least with the...
Never the nipple. It's always been with clown nose nipple caps.
That's amazing.
It was the first nipple.
Nipple review.
Yeah, it was quite empowering, actually. I'd always been self-conscious about my nipples because they're really big.
Okay.
They used to call me salami in high school. And one time they made me measure it against a Mari biscuit. That was quite traumatic.
And what, did the guys all go and jerk off over the Mari biscuit?
I wish.
But yeah,
broken upwards.
So this is how you sell shows, basically.
No, I don't. Like, if I was listening to this, I would, by now, probably not be coming. Actually, no, fuck that.
But I would say that that's a testament to your improv and clowning background, right? Is like, you can move in the situation, you can play with what's happening and like actually be quick with it and actually make decisions like that, where it's like, well, this is actually just good for the show. This is good for what's happening right now.
100%. 100%.
Or not, you weren't thinking about it that deeply.
No, I was. You just feel the instinct, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I guess, riding a bicycle or a car on a windy road. Like, you know where you got to turn. Yeah. And that was the turn. Although I was having coffee with someone and someone came up to me and recognized me. And I get recognized
from that show
very rarely. And when I do, it's always like a little bashful, but also like fuck yes, I've really worked hard. And she was like, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, you got your tits out at Armchair. And I was like, damn it.
I mean, at least it wasn't a show. I'd like other people to get their tits out at Armchair.
I'd love to start a trend. Like, kudos to the next person, man or woman or non-binary folk, who get their tits out at Armchair. It's how we start a revolution. Hashtag tits out for Armchair.
Yeah, that's one way we can save the venue. You know, turn on into a strip club. I mean, that's where comedy started, like, you know, historically, and a lot in South Africa. A lot of comedians, like, I know in Durban, like Neil Green and Carvin, like, used to do comedy at Colin D's, which was like a strip club. So,
really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say both of those guys did comedy with their tits out. And I had an amazing visual of...
Like even Lenny Bruce, you know, started like back in strip clubs and stuff like that. So, yeah.
There's a great show in Edinburgh that's super popular where all the comedians are naked.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd do that now. Like
balls out for comedy.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like my 20s and stuff, like, you know, I'd get naked in public all the time and like just be like, it doesn't matter, guys, you know, it's freedom. It's, you know, like that's the whole point. It's not like a sexual thing. I don't think nudity is always sexual, you know, like it's just about like being completely free. And like I can't appreciate that. But I don't know, I've put on about 10 kg since then, so that's more the problem than anything. And not like, you know, below the belt. So. So yeah, I guess I'm a bit self-conscious about like my body nowadays.
Which is why more people should get naked.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe I should make that show happen.
Comment
on this podcast.
Well, there was a guy at like Armchair the other day. He does like motivational speaking naked. And then he wanted to...
do it on the comedy.
Well, I don't know if he wanted to get naked, but he was at an open mic. He was at Armchair. And like he chatted to the host afterwards. And well, not afterwards, like during, and being like, can I get a couple minutes? And the guy was like, yeah, sure, come chat. And he was like, no, on stage. And I was like, nah. Not like, we got a full lineup. And also, yeah, I don't know, the public indecency aspect to things. I don't know how much we can get away with in South Africa.
It's an interesting line, though, because we trialed a thing in June, which was a fundraiser we took 14 different shows in our own theatre to the National Arts Festival this year. Yeah, thank you. That's actually what I came to talk about. Not getting my tits out.
Well, yeah, we were going to talk about that like months ago before you guys even went to Arts Fest. So, yeah.
It was called the Spark Hub, which was our production company, Spark in the Dark, which seeks to be the light at the end of the tunnel for the entertainment industry. And we took 14 shows. Out of the 10 different plays that qualified, 7 won Ovation Awards. So it was enormously successful in like launching a lot of young artists' careers, and I'm very fucking proud of it. But one of our fundraisers was called Raunchy.
Oh, yes.
Which was a collab between another event I run, Raunchy Renditions, where people tell true sex stories, and a karaoke night. And basically it was like embrace your sexuality and do karaoke. And you could express your sexuality in any way, but like the vibe was get naked. And it was fucking amazing. Like it was awkward in like the first hour. But then as people got more drunk, everyone got more loose. And the cutest thing was some people, like a friend of mine is a wonderful nerd, and he took his socks and shoes off, and Andre was like there. And I was like, fuck yes. Like,
cute.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Sex and sexuality is something that, you obviously like to explore.
Yes.
Right? But then how do you find that, like, in a country like South Africa, which is traditionally a bit more conservative? Obviously, these days there's like more parties and stuff that are like geared towards like kink and stuff like that, like with, Moonchild and Leah Jazz, and even like down here, I know there's like parties like that as well, which also, I mean, can be controversial in their own right because of, the way, like, obviously those places teach consent and everything like that. But I don't know, people don't always go with these things with good faith, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah.
So
creepy men without borders. I knew this callback would work. Now milk it dry.
But yeah, so how do you find that balance in a country like South Africa, where your audiences are really diverse? Like, you get like old grannies, you get like, young teenagers and stuff. You get like a broad spectrum of the population coming to your shows, but you're not like unafraid to, well, you're not afraid to like do those things. Like I remember with Il, with the pussy farts, with the lava lamp butt plug.
Oh yeah, that part.
So that's the thing. Obviously, raunchy is something where people like know what to expect in that. But then you're obviously layering it into your other shows. So like, yeah, how much do you consider all of that and like the South African audience with regards to what you're producing?
It's funny. I don't usually really consider the audience. I think,
which is a great way to go. Like, I wish I had that more.
I know.
I used to. But there's just only
frontal lobe development.
Yeah, I think it's also just there's only so many times you can have people not laugh at you as a comedian before you're like, maybe I should tell some jokes. Like,
just getting my dick out, it really isn't working.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Man.
Yeah, I think I've always. And it is something I definitely get from my mother. I've just got a very high threshold for embarrassment.
Yeah.
Like, I know I should be embarrassed. And sometimes afterwards, I'm like, wow, that was really embarrassing. I can't believe I did that. But I guess maybe it's the impulsivity in the moment. And I think those shocking things I really find funny.
Yeah.
I'm quite naughty. Maybe that's why I always get cast as the devil. I find, it's just delightful.
Just delightful.
Yeah,
just to talk about sex, to just talk about like, but that's also the thing, like you do tackle the more embarrassing aspects of it.
Yeah, I think I love that observational comedy, and I've been listening to a lot of Sarah Millican recently, and she does the shocking thing really well. But observational comedy where like someone says something that's so true that you couldn't put into words, and I love watching that kind of comedy. But I think the kind of things that I think are always the, oh my God, I shouldn't really say that. I can't help it. I don't even mean to, but it's always the funniest for me when I do. Like in IO, which is a piece I'm really proud of, even though people like mixed reviews, very mixed reviews. It was kind of, I thought of the sketch when Andrew Tate was at his height, and I'm ashamed to say, boyfriend at the time was watching a lot of Andrew Tate.
Yikes.
I know, but I feel empathetic for how those algorithms groomed young men.
Of course.
So it was, to see someone like change from the grooming of the internet was like, I hate the internet. But as a result, I watched and vicariously heard a lot of Andrew Tate and was like, fuck this guy so much. And I was just thinking about him and all the ways he's so obnoxious, like with that relentless confidence in his own bullshit. Yeah. And I don't know where it came from, but I just had this vision of like dressing up as Andrew Tate and having a tiny Vienna like sticking out as my penis and then wanking it. And then I was like, what would be more funny is if I came on stage and that was one of my sketches, was like 2 liters of watered down condensed milk hidden inside my pants and then wanking off the Vienna and then just like coming everywhere onto a drop sheet and being like, yeah, I can make all of you pregnant. And then on the night, it turned out I was such like in the performance and very physical and like my bald cap is like slipping and then I like slipped in the cum and I'm like rolling on the floor, like still wanking, still squirting the last bit of condensed milk. One bit of condensed milk actually hit a lady in the glasses. It was great. But that's what I think when I think of things.
You're just like, this is what I find funny.
I have to do it. And it upsets people.
Well, that's it. Did anyone walk out or?
Yes. Yeah. 2 people walked out. And a couple of close friends who love me and who I love was like, that was too far.
But obviously that's also something you love about like performing live, right? And that like you have this freedom and you have these moments and like every show is different essentially. Like, you make choices or something just happens and you got to flow with it compared to something like, Instagram Reels or whatever.
And then it's there forever.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Yes and no. Like, it's lost into the algorithm anyway.
That's true.
Like, it's unless something gets, like, amplified enough or you gain enough notoriety or fame or whatever, like, most stuff you do on the internet will be forgotten tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, which is how, like, I think a lot of people approach it. Whereas, like...
It's true, but theatre lasts forever.
Exactly. Yeah. In people's minds. Because it's also very temporary.
Yeah. It's true. But you do have, like, a memory back to, like... And sometimes they even remember good jokes, even at open mics.
Yeah.
Emily Hitchcock has a great joke. I quote it all the time.
Which one?
She says, a tip for good relationships, just record all your arguments with him and play them back to him until he gets it. Like, genius. It doesn't work, but it's a really good joke.
Yeah, I'm enjoying like watching her like grow as a...
Yeah. I love the journey of a lot of like girlfriends of comedians who are like, actually, fuck this, me too.
Yeah.
Or wives, partners.
Yeah.
Because then they talk about the comedian and their relationship and it's juicy AF.
Yeah, but it's also like, at least with them as well, it's like, it's kind of innocent as well.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's not like Natasha Leggero and what's it, Moshe Kasher, like they're bits about each other. Like
brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the danger, right? Like imagine you have like an ugly fight, then you're like, huh?
Yeah. Ooh. I've always like kind of avoided like talking too much about like the relationships I'm in, and even afterwards, like I do, like I'll pick up aspects of it and that, but I won't try and character assassinate the person I was with because, for me personally, there's like no hard feelings, it's like, hey, that sucked. And, also I'm probably the bad guy in most of these stories. So, and that's actually something that's difficult to really talk about. Like as a guy, and that's to analyze things and go like, well, how do I be honest about how shitty I was here, but also make it funny and not just be like, oh, he's a monster.
You should just tell all the situations and be like, am I the asshole? And get them to vote.
So just do like a Reddit post like as a comedy show. Yeah, no, but like...
I've had early days partners be like, us, not like want me to sign an NDA.
That you won't talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I think like sex stuff and that is usually, to me, fun. You know, like, I think talking about sex with your partners on stage and that, as long as you got consent from them, like, is fun and it's funny, and it's like the one avenue where there's like so many communal experiences in that, and you're not necessarily talking about someone's like personality and who they are as a person so much as the idiosyncrasies
Just their
of this.
penis.
Exactly. But like, for me, I do just like, they don't have a right to reply, you know? Like, that's what the cool thing about comedians being together, like, you know, hey, you can each do jokes about each other.
Yeah.
But like, when it's someone like my ex or whatever, it's like, I do talk about the situation, but I'm very like careful to not try and make her out to be a bad guy in any way, because it's like, she wasn't. She was just, you know?
That's why Bob Perfect is going to heaven. Yeah, it's true. And I think, as someone who's written 2 plays about her mother, my mom always threatens she's going to do a one woman show. But there are ethics around like how you represent your one side of the story. Not that I ever have
worried about that.
We have a little quote on we've got Spark in the Dark merch. Hey, we should swap Almost Perfect for a t-shirt swap.
Definitely.
And it says, anything you say or do can and will be used against you in one of my plays. There's the disclaimer.
Well, that's the thing. There is the whole thing of like, you know, it's your story to tell, and if someone didn't want you to speak badly about them, they shouldn't have acted that way. Like, which is fair, but like, yeah, everyone's got their own side of the story.
Totally. And I am the asshole in someone else's story.
That's the thing. Like, for me, it's like, I just know, like, if she had to do like a comedy show about like our relationship,
are you scared, Bob?
Oh God, I would be cancelled in a heartbeat. You know, like Bob Perfect, good feminist, doesn't look like it anymore.
Okay, now you have to say just one shit unfeminist thing that you did.
No, it's like the way like I've got anger issues. So the way I argue can be very loud.
Shouty, Bob.
Yeah, which is something I've obviously been working on for a long time on that. And like something I didn't necessarily understand as being something like, because like that's how my mom and I, you know, that's how I grew up.
Yeah,
like
totally,
is being shouted at, like as an expression of anger. Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, half an hour later, you know, one of us offers the other one like a glass of Coke, you know, and it's like.
But that's not everyone. My family was the same.
Yeah.
So it's.
And then, but like for other people it can be triggering.
Yeah, it's hectic.
They like didn't grow emotionally, like really, like abusive essentially.
Yeah.
And so that stuff, like I've felt like regret about, and like. And the problem is, like, Mark Maron's, like, already, like, fucking rinsed that stuff out so well. Where, like, he's talking about, like, you know, he's gone to the point where he goes, like, fuck you, I'm sorry. Like, you know, that's gone, like, down. So that's also it. It's, like, trying to find unique angles with things. It's trying to find, like, yeah. And it's just about maturing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, whereas before, I think I would have framed things very differently. Whereas now it's actually, like, trying to analyze how I really was and why I was that way and what's funny about it and all of that. So that's like stuff for my next show that I'm kind of working on at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it's called The King of Marpia, and like because my friend Nas Hussein called me that once, and then
what's Marpia?
Marpia, short-sightedness.
Oh,
yeah.
You got it?
No, but in terms of being short-sighted and laugh.
Oh. It is an interesting thing, like being able to look at the things you did wrong and be honest about it. But also,
that's the thing, I'm not at the be honest about it part yet.
But also the empathy thing for like learned behaviors. Like sometimes I think like, hey, I'm well adjusted. Like how you laughed at that. And then other times I'm like, I am so far from being okay. I had an interesting experience also where someone came up to me and said I was their role model. And I was like, oh no, quit, or like, serious, like,
that's, but I get it.
Fucked at up the creek. Like,
creek.
I would be really embarrassed if I was you and I saw me and said that was my role model.
But I get why, because like you're someone who like produces a lot of work. You like with Spark in the Dark, you've put a lot of other people on. You're very active in terms of like teaching kids and stuff. You do all these different courses and that. like you're very productive and someone who's actually like giving back to other people. So like I can see how people would look at you and be like, yeah, I want to be like that. Like I sometimes am like that, where it's just like I like don't know how you like your day must be so fucking full. Like you're in your scene and like there's a few people where I'm just like, how do you schedule all of this? Because even like us, like trying to like this would be months. Like we've been trying to set this up. And it's like for me, it's like, you know, I wake up in the morning and then I like read for like an hour. And then I come.
That's nice. I want to do that.
Yeah. And then like I come and I do some yoga or I work out a bit. And then I journal. And then I write a bit. And then I do some work.
It sounds like a dream.
And then I do some housework. And then I cook. And then my girlfriend comes home. And it's like, you know, it's like, it's so vastly different. And it's like, I know, but also I've had different periods of ambition, I guess. And at the moment, I'm not necessarily in that frame of mind of like, go, do. But there's also part of me that's like, I kind of need to do more if I want to like get to where I want to be eventually, you know, because also time is going by very quickly. Like it's like I'm nearly 40.
Time's going by so quickly.
I'm nearly 40. Like I have done like 2 one-man shows to, I'd say about 150 people total. So. And nothing's been filmed, nothing like that's the thing. Like as like a stand-up comedian, like who's been doing it for as long as I have, I don't actually have like a ton to show for it. So there is a lot with me at the moment where it's like, well, fuck. Like that's also the thing. This next show is one where it's like kind of really going to be like my first one-man show in a way. And that like I'd hope that it's the thing that introduces people to me, which is why I'm like trying to make it super personal and like
Yeah. That's beautiful. Freaking go. I'll be there opening night.
But the thing is, it's like, I do like 1 or 2 sets a week and like slowly build on it. And it's like, fuck, this is going to take me like 5 years to build, you know? So how do you actually motivate yourself to like sit down, to write, to perform, to practice, to like do all the things? Because it's also, you're not like necessarily practicing this stuff at open mics and that, are you?
Sometimes. I think the biggest thing, and something I've been thinking a lot recently, is if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
And Spark in the Dark absolutely would not have achieved everything it's achieved without our team.
Yeah. That was a cool thing, coming and doing your shows and seeing like, it's not just you anymore.
Yeah. It's a team, and I think to have an artistic eye is one thing. To have the dopamine circuits running correctly to motivate you to do jack shit is another thing. But I think what community offers is like sometimes we do co-working sessions, and there I can be productive, like if I'm just working with people.
Yeah.
And community. And then for me, like the one thing that's allowed me to produce anything is like NAF, because you sign up and
I got beat,
you pay the...
That's fine. They reject me, but I'll try again.
Next time.
No, like for years I've just been like, fuck that. But then this year I saw like everyone just having so much fun, and was like, yeah, I need to do that.
But I think that also more festivals would be cool. We really want to do a comedy festival in Cape Town. The Festival of Fools.
Interesting. Yeah. A few of us also talking about that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I don't know, like what's your...
We want to do a festival that brings together all forms of comedy. So stand-up, improv, clowning, and sketch. And there's like one weekend with lots of shows, lots of workshops. I think for me, and what I've learned is like that self-motivation is just such a bitch. Yeah. And then when you don't do it, you feel bad. And then you see other people like succeeding, and that's the funny thing for me, which maybe comes back to that like role model thing. Like I thought maybe by now I'd feel better, or I'd be like, I've achieved things that I'm proud of, and I have, but that hole remains as vacuumous as it always was, and always look up at everyone who's doing more. And the only kind of thing that really holds space for me is those deadlines and like community, and knowing that you have to do something by a certain time, or doing workshops and doing the work in the workshops in community.
I mean, that's kind of why like I've done like festivals and stuff in Durban, was just because it was like, okay, well, I need an excuse to write a one-man show.
Yeah, exactly.
And put it on somewhere where it's not just about me.
100%. And it's so much easier to get people to come to a festival than it is.
Trust me, I know. I've been there. But yeah, so the community aspect of it with Spark in the Dark, how's that all evolved over time?
Well, it started last year at NAF, where 5 of us happened to mostly be in the same venue or the same accommodation. And we were like, it's really smooth, like doing play changeovers when you've got all the same people.
Yeah.
Let's just run our own theater. And that was just 5 of us. And then the next year we had 14 plays, which was a hell of a thing. Like, God, what a...
Is there anyone doing admin that's not involved in, like, the actual performing?
We were all doing, like, solo shows on top of organizing the whole thing.
That's crazy.
It was a bitch. But we've now expanded even more. So we've got, like, a team of 10, and we've just onboarded, like, 3 young interns who are, like, recent drama graduates. And there's so many things I learned, like, alone and learned the hard way. But ultimately, I would like to see a South Africa that has a theatre industry that looks more like we did pre-COVID, with touring circuits and...
I mean, I'm from Durban, so I don't know anything about this.
Like indie theatres.
Yeah,
and like,
that's what I'm saying. We just never had that. Like, I mean, there's stuff that happens at the Rumbelow, which is usually, well, not just the Rumbelow, but like, it's like Aaron McElroy and Lorena Bobbitt. And those are the only 2 people who like ever do anything in Durban, basically, that would be considered like indie theatre.
Yes.
Like everything else is just some heavy shit at the fucking Playhouse.
Yeah. But I think I used to work at the Alexander Bar. I don't know if you ever went.
Well, no, but I did read about that.
Yes. Oh, what a place. And just the champion of indie theatre. And I really think, especially with like how sad people are and addicted to their phones, that now more than ever, people want that live experience. I'm very big on this idea that live performance is AI proof. Like you can't.
Yeah, that's your motto.
Yeah, it is. It's so my motto. Like you can make art, you can make music, you can make...
Well, I saw Inga Beckman did like a thing that was like...
Still had to have a person.
Yes, I get you there. Like,
can't be replaced by AI.
Yeah, like I'm going to be chatting to her eventually, and like I just found that very interesting.
Yes.
Like, but like I didn't get... I was meant to go see a show, I didn't, so I'm just like, oh, fuck. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, I think there are lots of people infusing AI with theatre, but like you can't take the person out of theatre, otherwise it's inherently something else.
I feel you there. Like, because even gorillas, like, you know, it would be like a precursor to like AI stuff, and that's still like a human behind it. But I do wonder, like, if there will be theater where, yeah, it's all generated and somehow doesn't have a person, but then is that theater? I don't know.
I would love to see that. I feel like it's like having sex with a blow-up doll. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that is sex.
Yeah, but have you seen our they're not blow-up dolls anymore. They like remake porn stars' vaginas and like sell them, so.
But I think there's a hungry market for theatre. I think we just have to find it. And I think if you go to a great show, like whether it's a raunchy renditions or whatever, and you have a flippin' good evening and you leave feeling better than you walked in, I believe that you will buy a ticket to the next one.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how you've done it.
Yeah. I think that's the key. Like, we need to make good shows as performers, like really good, fun shows or meaningful shows. And, you know, you just need every one person to bring a friend. And then that's a full house.
But then also, how much does the media help with this? And also with this, how much do you approach them and how much do they approach you? Because you're someone who has gotten lots of good reviews and, you know, you've got interviews and stuff, and people, you were in the Mail and Guardian top 200.
Yeah, I was. Suck it, Mom. I always knock on the doors. I think once or twice someone has knocked on my door, but very much like, bit by bit, network by network, meeting someone, sending them a press release, cool, next person. And I'm lucky to now have accumulated a wide network. But yeah, that's the only way to do it. No one's ever going to come to you.
Yeah, that's the thing I think everyone eventually realizes.
No one's going to come to you.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes...
you invited me on this podcast. That was pretty cool. Well, thanks.
That's the weird thing, right? Like, as someone who's, like, done the work as a fucking journalist for a long time.
I didn't know you were a journalist.
what do you think this is? No, like I've been like a music journalist since my early 20s, you know, like that's how I started and everything. And like, but that was the thing, like for me, it was writing about what was around me and like approaching all the bands, approaching musicians, and like because I was like interested in that. And it's kind of tragic that like with the way media has shifted, and especially the social media aspect of things, that there aren't as many people like a part of scenes busy, you know, writing about them. Like a lot of people who are doing the stuff for newspapers and that, you know, they're not just going to a like random gig on a Wednesday night, you know, and finding out who all these people are in the scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they might get a press release from a PR person that they know and be like, okay, I'll just rewrite the press release.
Yeah.
Which is what's kind of tragic about like a lot of the arts and culture, you know, writing in South Africa at the moment.
Yeah.
And like obviously the big stuff is covered, but like I'm saying, you know, like a Friday night gig at the Armchair like is never, you know, something that someone else reviews or writes about. And I think that's missing because that was something that was, especially in the blogging era, but even before it was something that was done a lot.
Yeah, 100%. And people were getting their marketing from, like, people read reviews. And it is a challenge with how your online presence qualifies your credibility. Like, I know people who are verified find it really easy to sell out, and that's freaking great. Like, more people at those shows, and then it always makes me feel bad that I don't put more effort into my online platforms. But I also like, there's something inside me that like, I don't.
You have a revulsion to it.
Yeah, like, I really do. Like I look at TikTok and I'm like, I know I could make, like, I've got this concept for Melonzilla, and I just put like different melons and then my eyes and mouth, but then I just read Helenzilla quotes from Twitter.
See,
that's it. And like low effort. Like I don't have to write a jack shit thing. I just can't. I just never do it because
you don't find it valuable, essentially.
I don't want to be the reason someone spends another 15 seconds in a doom scroll.
This is also my chat with it, where it's like, how much do I want to like give these platforms, you know, that like the attention, the eyeballs, so that I can get the attention and the eyeballs and stuff. But it's also, for me, it's like a lot of it's just so fucking meaningless. Like that's my big issue with like the content wave and that, and like with things just disappearing and that. You and I still have that other mindsets of like, oh no, if it's on the internet, it's there forever. And it's like anything we put up is something that should represent us. Like that's, in terms of like video stuff, for me, like always been the thing. And it's like, I'm like, well, if I want to do content for the internet, I would want it to be high value, high production-ish, or like, you know, like not just being like my face when blah 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 blah, you know. And it's like, but that stuff works and that stuff gets millions and millions of views. But then it's also like, how much does that translate to ticket sales? How much does that like make me happy as a person? You know, like, cool, I got all this attention, but it wasn't for anything I was proud of.
Yeah. And also I feel like I want to make jokes and I want to do entertainment because I want to make people feel lighter than they arrived.
Yeah.
And a little bit more alive. And I know that a 15-second, like, it might get them a chuckle. Like, at absolute best, they'll go like, haha, and send it to a friend.
Yeah, which isn't bad. Like, I do like that communal aspect of, you know.
I guess so, but then it's just back to the scroll. And by the time you've scrolled for 15 minutes, I know you feel worse.
Yeah.
Like, there is no science to suggest that you ever walk away from that going, wow, that was a productive set of doom scrolling. Gosh, I feel so much better having seen all that funny shit. It's like you get the dopamine hit per funny video, but you don't, it's not something that's, it's not rewarding or fulfilling. You always feel slightly, like, tell me someone who doesn't feel slightly ashamed of like doom scrolling for 30 minutes, you know?
Oh, definitely. Like,
you always feel worse.
Yeah, like I struggle with TikTok because of like the platform, but like, you know, I'm on Instagram way too much, and I don't even care about half the people's lives that I'm checking their stories, and I'm just like going through, and I'm like, I eventually like just mute it, and I'm just like, why? Yeah. Like, this isn't adding anything to my life. Like, you know, I'll still stay friends with them and like them when it's on the main page thing. Yeah. But like, I don't need to see photos of your kid, like, personally. Yeah. Like, I know you're proud of that, and I know you're happy. Yeah. But like, this doesn't
match your friend who married your ex.
But it's like, this doesn't add anything to my life.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's the thing. It's just like, yeah, I do struggle with just being sucked into the internet too much, and it does like fuck with my productivity and that. But at the same time, I've had this idea to do a character called Prick Prubin, which is very similar to your male Zilla. And basically, I'll just want to get like 4 Santa beards and put them all around my head.
It's hilarious.
And then just quote Rick Rubin. So we had very similar thoughts.
I'll do it if you do it.
But let's also...
You know what you should come to, Bob? You should come to Clown Town. Do you know what... Have you heard of Clown Town?
I've heard of it, yes.
We meet it's a cult.
Well, this is right in my alley. Like, you know I've been wanting to start a cult, so...
Join an existing one.
My ego, come on. Could never be a follower.
Oh, you want to be... Oh, right.
There's leaders.
Well, why don't you, join, work your way up? We have a fight, you create your own division.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually, I would say...
And then I start my own army, and then eventually, you're gone.
Oh, okay. Creepy men without borders. But we meet every Sunday, 4 to 6, and we just have a clown workshop, and it's really, really fun and really silly. We've had quite a few stand-ups come to it, and it's been so beautiful to see how they go from a very defensive style of comedy, which you have to be in stand-up because it's killing or dying, and it's shame and hate and vitriol from the audience and the other stand-ups
and judgment,
and that reaction of bombing is where the punny lies in clown, and it's just that instant embracing the fall instead of being like, oh fuck, like that terror you get before the bungee jump line picks in. And
oh yeah, I've done the swing at Moses Mabita, and that was crazy.
What, from bombing to flying?
Yeah. It's more just the thoughts you have. Well, this is very dark, but one of my friends jumped off a building to kill himself. So that's what I was thinking about while I was falling. It was just shit, so this is what that feels like.
Jimmy didn't have a rope.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's yoink, and you're like, okay. But then the whole thing is just scary.
Did you shit yourself?
Not literally.
Because the one time I thought I was dying from a fall on the big slide at Ushaka Marine World.
You have told this story on the podcast before.
I have?
Yes.
Okay, good.
On this podcast.
Yeah, I told it on a stand-up stage and it bombed. No one thought it was funny that I shot myself on the big slide at Ushaka Marine World. But it's okay. Carry on.
It's okay, yeah.
I just have to wedge that in there in all conversations.
Just got to get it out.
That's how I start my first dates.
Yeah, but you need to know about me. Is that on your Hinge profile? Well, it's going to be once you reactivate that now. Oh, where were we though?
You were talking about imagining what it was like for your friend before he hit the ground. I'm sorry.
Guys, reminded me of my own morbid bit, basically. But yeah, I get you with the free falling, basically, and then you yoink back up. But the thing for me with clowning, it's something theoretically I appreciate a lot, but I'll be honest with you, watching it, I don't typically enjoy it as much as I think I would.
Have you ever seen a good clown show?
That's the problem, right?
Well, that is your problem. But just even the workshops are fun.
Yeah.
Just pull through one time.
Yeah, I will sometime, genuinely, because it is something, even with improv, I'm one of those dudes who's just it seems kind of lame, bro.
It's called the stand-up complex.
Literally, where
they think they're better than yeah.
The ultimates of the low arts, yeah.
I actually had my first hater recently. I just had a low level, an op.
Okay. In the scene, or? In
the scene. It was funny because I was about to go on stage to do a kids show, and a friend of mine was backstage with me, and she was like, oh my God, you have a hater. So not all your friends you think you have are your friends. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Caleb? Why would you tell me this now? I've got to do a 45-minute puppet show. And anyway, it later transpired that someone industry adjacent.
So not a comedian.
I can't say anymore.
Okay. We'll chat after.
Industry adjacent said something along the lines like, oh, she's so cocky. She's not even a real comedian. Which is fair.
No, you're not a stand-up comedian, but you are a comedian.
I can't think of one stand-up joke that I've actively written. I do some jokes, and they're clown jokes that I read from they're stand-up jokes that I read from a joke book that I do as a joke book joke as a clown bit.
But you also do a set as a cat.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
the cat's written jokes.
The cat's written jokes, and I've done comedy songs, but I've actually never like sat down and been like, set up, punchline. And that is a art form.
Yeah.
Like I struggle with thinking about it that logically.
I mean, I struggle with doing like
Making
comedy
people
your way.
laugh by getting your tits out. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's more just like with your storytelling and stuff like that. For me, it's like because of like stand up and the way I write, and like I need to condense everything as much as possible into as few words as possible, as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like there to be space. Like, you know, like it's very rare, especially because like here you're doing like 10, 15-minute sets a lot of the time. So it's like you don't have time to, you know, let the audience die down, basically. You know, you want every single line you say to like end with a punchline.
Yeah. 100%.
Whereas you still get huge laughs in your shows, but it's because like you create tension and stuff like that, and then you eventually break it. But it's like it's not done in the way stand-up comedians do it. But you're still a comedian.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like.
Thanks, Bob. I needed that.
No, like I've had debates about this with other comedians about you. Like literally, yeah. Like
more haters?
Not haters, but just like
how come she gets nominated for comedy awards but she's not a comedian?
Not that, but like just people being like, oh, but she's not a comedian. Like she is a comedian. She's just not doing stand up. Yeah, but that's also it. Like I was literally like, is it misogyny or jealousy? You know, like which
give me names after this.
We'll chat. No, but like that's the thing, because for me it is like I do think that in some aspects, especially in the Cape Town scene and the South African scene in general, like women are maligned like in comedy and do get weird criticisms that other like comedians don't, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's why I just like with you, I was just like, are you sure? Like, you know, you're not just being misogynistic or jealous. Yeah. Because
thanks, Bob.
because that's like, I think you're fucking hilarious. Like, you are like one of my favorite people to watch. Like, I even told them, I was like, I'll pick her shows over yours every day. like, if you're on the same nights, like, I'm gonna go watch Sophie. Because her dick jokes are at least a little funny.
Because it's the dick mime joke.
But exactly, but that's the thing. Your stuff's a lot broader, and it's like, for me, it's so different.
Yeah.
You know, it's too, like, and like, I love stand-up, but I also love that the form itself has expanded so much with people like Hannah Gatsby and Jared Carmichael and Bo Burnham and like, you know, all these people who have taken, like, that's the thing, like, people look at Nanette, right, and like be like, oh, it's not funny. It's like, that show is fucking hilarious for a long time, and then it gets a bit heavy. But because of their history with stand-up comedy and their excellence at it, like, they're able to create the show that has the pacing, structure, timing, and that of stand-up comedy, but it's not necessarily jokes.
Yeah. And I think South Africa, we had such a big heyday of stand-up, and stand-up is still booming, and like there's a new generation of comedians like every 6 months.
Like, it's just, I mean, the comedians who are different.
Like a nauseating amount of gigs.
And at least here, and with some gigs in Joburg, and even in Durban now, like the Dropkick Murphys, like open mic, like the Knockout Out open mic is full like every Wednesday now.
That's fucking amazing.
And like here, like gigs are often very full. Joburg, like
sorry, I love Armchair. Can I just say? I love roasting Armchair.
It ebbs and flows because I'm actually hosting there. When people hear this, it would have been last Wednesday, but like I'm hosting this Wednesday. I'm not hosting.
Armchair.
I'm headlining. Yeah.
Oh, I'm hosting.
Oh, you're hosting this Wednesday. Oh, yeah, I'm headlining. Yeah. Okay. So cool.
Oh, great.
See you on Wednesday.
Guys, come to the gig that you won't hear about till late.
But like, I mean, the thing is, Armchair is like very rarely like empty, but like sometimes, there's like 10 people. But I've been there a lot this year, and like a lot of the time it's like 20, 30 people, which is a nice audience.
Yeah.
But then you've had like Movable Feast where it's like, you know, that was people packed.
Yeah, and Comedy and Kleur, they're
always packed. I mean, Kaya's a little bit smaller, but that's also like always full. Like I've done like your gigs and that, and like, there's nice crowds, and like people are coming out. Not everyone's like, you know, stand-up comedy like aficionado, but like I do think they're there with like open hearts, you know, and it's I've found like being here, I haven't had to prove myself to the audience as much.
Whereas in Durban.
Yeah, whereas in Durban, it's like there isn't that trust built in, you know.
Right. It's very much like
it's like prove it to me.
Yeah. Work for it.
Yeah.
I think as stand-up is booming, but at the same time, people are quite conservative about the pure art form.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of like young dudes who start stand up, then they like watch the greats and they
yeah, there's 100 bunch of polls in South Africa.
And they write and they write and write, but they started off as funny, like natural, like anyone who does stand up has an instinct on how to make people laugh. And I think it would
Not
be
anyone that does comedy.
No, they do have an instinct, and they've made people laugh. They might bomb on their first 20 gigs, but they do have like an instinct for what is funny. They are funny people. They laugh at shit. They'll laugh at funny series. You know,
Yeah.
they're and not everyone has that instinct. There's some people who like don't laugh.
Yeah, there's people who just don't have a sense of humor. Yeah.
I know. I didn't believe it. And then I met someone like that. I was like, oh my God, it's not, the light in your eyes is dead.
Yeah, that's like most audiences I perform to.
You know what they say, Bob? Never blame the audience.
Trust me, I'm aware. And like, I both agree and don't agree.
Never blame the audience unless it is genuinely their fault. But I think it's unfortunate that people are more scared of trying new things for the fear of bombing, because there are lots of different ways to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And they always...
And sometimes bombing can make people laugh if you try to do it.
Yeah. There was a clown podcast that I love.
Brechtian alienation or whatever.
Yeah. That's a theater books.
Yeah. Well, it's more just what's it called? Stuart Lee writes about it in his book, so that's how I know about it. And it comes up in Comedy Book, a book about jokes, which is that's by the guy Jesse David Fox. He hosts Good One, a podcast about
comedy.
Yeah. You should definitely check it out. And like the book as well, like is phenomenal. Like it's about American comedy, and it's inspired me to maybe write a book about South African comedy. But
please write a book about South African comedy.
Yeah, I'm literally reading through like theses and stuff at the moment.
Wait, are you reading Robin Krigler's one?
Who's Robin Krigler?
Oh my God, you have to read Robin Krigler.
Yeah.
He's an American and wrote a PhD on the history of South African comedy.
Oh, sick. I would love to. Because there's not like tons about, apartheid era comedy.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of work on my side. Because the rest I can just call people and be like, hey, so what do you think about this? I'm recording this. I'm going to use quotes, but like those people, like I'd love to like chat to like Eddie Eckstein and like, people from that era. But then there's also like black people who are in comedy movies and that I'd love to chat to, but a lot of those guys are dead. And like, so yeah, anyway.
Totally check him out. Yeah. I'll send you a link, you guys. It'll be a good
chat.
Know each other.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I just wish there was more of a sense in the industry that it's fun to explore and it's cool to explore, and the rest of the if you do something super weird for the laugh, the other comedians will be at the back backing you for being brave,
literally, instead
of this like,
I don't know. I think we do have that here in Cape Town from what I've seen, but I don't know.
Yeah, most of the comedians did laugh at my tits.
No, we were losing our shit. Like the whole thing, like from the get-go when you started, I was just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Like, yeah, who was after you? Someone...
Ulma.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, about getting his dick out.
Yes. Oh, I think he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm chatting to him again. Well, we actually did an interview, but it fucked out. But people will get to hear the new interview soon. But that's the thing, like, I've been finding here, like, and even with a space like Armchair and that, it's like, I'm not scared to die there, Like, it's fine. But it's also like, weirdly enough, because I've been more experimental and trying all these different things, like, I've got a panopticon joke now, like, that's with Love Island and this and that. And, like, me like writing it and I'm like, this is not gonna work. And then eventually, like, I did it enough times. I mean, even the first time I did it, like, got some laughs throughout and like, and then eventually like I figured it out and was like, oh yeah, I just need to explain what a panopticon is at this certain point, and then I can finish with this like joke that the whole thing like was written for, and then like, cool, that gets like a big laugh. And I'm like, awesome, this was done over like 4 weeks. I've now got, and I'm still going to keep like adding to it. And that's the great thing about stand-up comedy is you can reiterate, and whereas you can't do that. you got to come with your show fully formed. So that's actually is something I wanted to chat to you about before we head on out. Is that like, is there a lot of pressure like with writing, and like how do you refine these things before you get on stage, because you're not testing it the way we are? Like I can go to Armchair and a joke won't work, and then I'll go, oh, okay, maybe I'll do this, and then it works a little better, and then I build on that, and then a year later that's in a one-man show.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, it's like you're sitting at home, like busy scribbling, busy writing, and going, fuck, I hope this is funny.
Yeah. I think what I do with what I've done with Netflix,
Yes.
my concept for that show, it's actually called Netflix because the H is silent.
Yeah, let's actually talk about it before.
Yeah. So it's my newest one-man show, and I'm very excited for it. The concept, or the reason I wanted to make this show, is I got first option for a lead role in a huge Netflix series, and I was super excited. And for a minute there, I was like, first option, I got this in the bag. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to buy a theater. I can buy a house. I can buy a car. I'm going to be okay. And there was this like 3 days where I was like actually started just imagining a financial future in the arts where I wasn't fucked.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, as they say. Yeah.
I counted those chickens. There were
Gave
lots of
names.
them. I gave them names. I signed them up for primary school. It was amazing. And then I went to the audition. I met the big Hollywood producers, and I went from first option to not an option. Yeah. And which was a very good thing. I'm infinitely glad that I didn't get that role.
Why?
Because now I am where I am, and I am broken up with, and I'm having a really great day. Have you ever
There's
had
tears
someone
rolling on
cry
their face, like.
Well, actually, because if I had taken the role, I wouldn't have got to go to Mauritius to do ill there, and that was like
so this was
one of the
back
best.
then. Oh, okay.
2 years ago, a year ago, exactly a year ago, and that doing Mauritius and ill was like one of the best full circle moments of my life. That was such a precious, wonderful thing. Anyway, it just got me thinking how like we go into the arts, like to get to study at drama school, you have to have cared so much. You have to have wanted it so bad. You have to like, I was very lucky in having supportive parents, but most people have to like do a hell of a lot of bargaining with their parents.
Yeah. Or just be like, fuck you, I'm doing this. Like,
Yeah, which is its own kind of like trauma, you know? Even if it's a very empowering move, it's like not easy.
No.
To find the money wherever to get to study that for a piece of paper that's a very, very practical degree, and that doesn't actually give you like what other options do you have? Like kind of you could go into teaching. There are a few, like there are useful skills, but they're very theater specific. Like, and only theater people can do that. Like some people come into acting not from drama school, but like those skills are where else are you going to use your puppetry?
Tree.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so sad that you go into it with this wonderful desire to connect with an audience, and then like 5 years later, even with a career as successful as mine, and I've been really freaking lucky, and I'm still stressed, broke, and broken up with, and just now desperate to be in like some commercial series where I'm going to be playing a role that means absolutely nothing to me, like pretending to be this thing, no connection with the audience, just so that I can feel secure.
Yeah.
And people are so happy to pay 99 Rand for Netflix a month, and then you do a show once every 6 months and you're like, it's 150, and they're like, So that was the motivation for the show. And what I wanted to do is, I just thought it was a fun test of my acting abilities to do all the shows on Netflix. So I've got a bank of about 60 shows, which is a 1-minute sketch summary of each show. And it's been, you asked initially about like, how do I write it? I wrote Netflix. I wanted to write really clever sketches for each thing. And I did some workshopping in improv with an improv friend of mine. And then I discovered that I wasn't disciplined or witty enough to write 100 really witty sketches.
I mean, that's the thing. You need to write 1,000 to get 100.
And I just decided I've kind of got now like 30 sketches that I'm really proud of. And then every night it's a totally new show. I just like ask the audience what their favorite shows are.
Okay.
I write them down, and then my sound person, Caleb, has a whole lot of different generic sounds, like scary music or like whatever it might be. And then we improvise the whole show. There are a couple of things that are set, but everything else is improvised. And that's my work ethic.
Because I ain't going to write this. I'm just going to hope for the best on the night.
And like see how far that instinct for where to tickle people goes. And it has, I experimented a lot with it at NAF and like workshopped it there. And then I did a show in Zimbabwe at the Thirsty Horse Theatre, and it was so good. It was so fun. There were like 10 shows that the audience suggested that I never watched and just had to like make someone's dad be Aquaman. Like that was fun. But it's very free. And there's something very exciting about like for an audience and for me to be like, guys, I have no idea how this is going to go. Like the stakes are just sometimes somehow so much higher, and that's really fun.
Do you get a kick out of it, basically?
Oh, such a kick.
Like for me, that is just like, it's exciting but terrifying, man.
Yeah.
Like to this day, like I try and be loose on stage and that, but it's also like, I've always got the stuff in my back pocket where it's like, okay, cool, I'm just going to go into material. Like, I know how the next 10 minutes of this are going to go. I'm done trying to be in the room right now. I'm actually going to detach and just do the act, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Is it because you've done it so much that you have confidence in it, so that you're like, this will eventually be good?
Yeah, I think it's actually feeling more trusting of an audience and trusting of myself with an audience. I remember with like every time I still felt a bit like an imposter. Like, what if they hate me?
Yeah.
And what I have to say. And then I did it so many times and I always jumped and they always caught me. And then I was like, if you jump with like, how do people crowd surf? Are they like, are you guys ready? Are you okay? Is everyone?
Some people do, but I would just run from the back of the stage and do a somersault. Yeah,
and it's so much more fun to see you catapulting through the air.
Yeah,
you know.
Then the girls on the front of the stage being like, "Okay, guys, catch me!" Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, jump. Just
jump and you'll be caught. Hopefully.
And if you aren't, like, fucking roll with it.
Cool. Okay, but I'll ask you one last question that I'll ask every guest on the podcast. What is a big mistake you've learned an important lesson from?
Ooh, okay.
Don't have curry before going down a slant.
Don't have Durban's hottest bunny chow. The biggest mistake I made that I really learned something from, you can create the same consistency for a much cheaper price and with way less stickiness of Vienna cum with a flour water mixture than a jar of diluted condensed milk. Like, those pants still smell like rotten milk, and it sucks because I liked those pants. But
so that's also a lesson: don't perform in pants you like if it's gonna get messy.
Yep, and you can just lick the flour off your fingers. It tastes gross, but like suck it up. And the condensed milk is nice, but it's not there for the taste. It's there for the visuals.
I like that. That's a good one to end on. I think that's going to be very
useful.
Helpful for a lot of people.
I think it's a common mistake that people make, especially the stand-up comedians.
Yeah, I don't know if they're using condensed milk for the jizzing on stage. Yeah, well, thank you, Sophie Joans. This has been equal parts awkward and enlightening, and I've enjoyed it.
I remember when I was a weak stand-up comedian seeing your podcast and being like, oh, like it was literally on my vision board of like shit I want to do in my career.
And now you've just got so much higher goals that you're like, he's asked me like 5 times, maybe I should do it.
No, I wanted to do it from the beginning. I love being on this podcast and I love this podcast. And you're right, there aren't enough people doing platforming artists and like community.
Well, just in a way like this, like, because I feel like podcasting in South Africa has gone the route of the, 3 people with mics just talking shit about like, current events and getting themselves into trouble when they say racist shit. Yeah. It's like, and like I find just this format like isn't explored enough.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Totally. It's real.
Start your own podcast, people.
Start your own podcast.
Just not if, you're a white dude who has conservative beliefs, because, hey, that might end badly for you.
I thought you were just going to say white dude. I was like, Bob.
I don't know. That's like, I can't, like...
How do you say goodbye? Bye. Follow me on @SoloJoans. Come to my show on the 24th, the day tonight, because that's when they'll listen to this. Come to Clowntown if you want to explore clowning.
And there's also writing workshops and everything like that.
Us to do writing workshops. I'm actually going to do a writing workshop on how to write your first Tide 5.
Ooh.
From the woman who's never written a Tide 5.
You have as a cat.
I know how to make the space for you to be your best you. And follow Spark in the Dark on Instagram.
Sweet.